time alone. Maybe the urge to be around others isn't what it used to be. Or perhaps you've come to prefer the calm of quiet moments over the buzz of busy gatherings. To some, this shift may seem like growing distant. But in truth, choosing solitude later in life is often a reflection of deep wisdom. While modern culture tends to praise constant social activity and non-stop connectivity, there's an understated strength in being comfortable with your own company. In this video, we'll explore 5 compelling reasons why seniors who enjoy solitude are, in many ways, remarkably wise. Whether it's a love for tranquility or a continued desire for personal growth, each reason reveals how solitude in older age isn't isolation. It's insight. It's resilience. It's living deliberately. Stick around. You may come to see that your love for solitude is one of the greatest gifts aging brings. You understand the value of peace at a certain point. In life, peace becomes more valuable than noise. For many older adults, that realization emerges with time. After decades of responsibilities, challenges, and change, you begin to understand that peace isn't a luxury, it's essential. You start to recognize how needless conflict, constant chatter, and surface-level interactions drain rather than fulfill. Instead of filling your calendar with events and obligations that don't enrich your life, you now seek meaningful moments and genuine connections. Take Martin, 70, for example. In his earlier years, he was constantly surrounded, colleagues, neighbors, casual acquaintances. He felt a sense of obligation to be social, even when he didn't want to be. But after retiring, he realized many of those connections were built on routine, not real depth. He began politely turning down invitations that no longer resonated. He took long walks at dawn, read more, reflected more, and surprisingly, he didn't feel lonely. He felt free. When you welcome solitude, it's a sign that you're truly comfortable with yourself. You don't depend on constant noise or external approval to feel whole. Many struggle with being alone because they haven't yet learned how to sit quietly with their own thoughts. But if you've grown to enjoy your own company, that's a mark of emotional maturity, self-awareness, and inner strength. Protecting your peace instead of spending your energy meeting social expectations that bring no real joy is something not everyone learns to do. And while some might confuse solitude with isolation, there's a critical difference. Isolation is unwanted. It's when someone feels emotionally cut off and longs for connection they can't find. Solitude is chosen. It's the intentional decision to step away from the noise and find peace in stillness. Reaching a point in life where you understand that peace is more important than shallow interaction is one of the quietest yet most meaningful milestones of growing older. You know who you are. Another clear sign of wisdom in later life is having a strong sense of self. In your youth, you may have spent years trying to gain approval, wanting to fit in, live up to expectations, or prove something to the world. But with time comes clarity. Now, you no longer feel the need to justify your choices or seek validation from others. You've lived long enough, faced enough trials, and learned enough lessons to know what defines you. You understand what matters to you, and just as importantly, what doesn't. You know what you will and won't tolerate. That kind of self-knowledge is rare, and it's powerful. Many people who find solitude uncomfortable do so because they haven't yet made peace with who they are. They need the noise of others to drown out the uncertainty within. But when you've done the work, when you've walked through enough life to stand firmly in your own identity, being alone is no longer scary. It becomes a source of strength, built a strong relationship with themselves. They don't need constant company to fill the silence, distract them from their thoughts, or help shape their identity. If you find comfort and even joy in your own company, it's a clear sign that you've achieved a level of inner confidence and self-acceptance that many never reach. Rather than constantly looking outward for validation, you've turned inward. And in that space, you've found peace simply being who you are. Take Helen, 68. For most of her life, she was deeply social, always organizing gatherings, keeping her schedule packed, and staying actively engaged. But as time passed, she realized her social routine was more about habit than true happiness. After retiring, she started embracing more alone time, slow mornings with coffee and a favorite book, peaceful walks, even solo trips. What surprised her most wasn't the quiet. It was how whole she felt, not alone, empowered. When you know yourself well, you no longer rely on others to complete you. You're at ease with your own presence, your own choices, and your own thoughts. That kind of self-knowledge frees you. It allows you to make decisions that align with your core values, not what others expect or demand. You stop wasting your energy on commitments and relationships that drain rather than nourish. You understand, at last, that your time and peace are too precious to spend on anything that doesn't truly matter. Some may wonder why you enjoy being alone, but those who truly understand will recognize it for what it is: a sign of someone who has done the inner work, who has nothing left to prove, and who has found deep comfort in simply being, and that is one of the greatest strengths a person can have. If you're still with me, and these reflections are resonating with you, please comment number 2 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful content that uplifts and informs. Let's continue. You prioritize quality over quantity in relationships as you grow older. One of the most liberating realizations is this: not every relationship is meant to last, and not everyone deserves to. In your earlier years, your life might have been filled with colleagues, acquaintances, or casual friends. People who passed through your world, often without depth. But with time comes clarity. What truly matters isn't how many people are in your life, but the quality of the connections you maintain. Many people hold on to relationships out of habit, guilt, or a sense of duty. But wisdom teaches a powerful truth. Just because something has lasted doesn't mean it still brings value. If a relationship lacks mutual respect, kindness, or genuine joy, keeping it out of obligation only wears you down. That's why so many older adults who value solitude aren't antisocial or bitter. They've simply outgrown the need for surface-level bonds. What they seek now is depth. Connection that feels real, fulfilling, and honest. Walter, 72, is a great example. For much of his life, he felt responsible for maintaining a wide circle of friendships. He'd show up at events he didn't care about, engage in small talk that left him exhausted, and spend time with people who never truly saw him. But eventually, he made a change. He began investing his energy in the relationships that mattered, those marked by mutual care, understanding, and shared values. Instead of trying to please everyone, he focused on those few people who genuinely valued his presence. And, in doing so, he found something many never do: peace through meaningful connection.